used to think that life was happening to me. But guess what? The real power lies in understanding that I am and always have been the architect of my reality. Hey, I'm glad you're here. This isn't going to be just another video. Today, this is going to be a heart-to-heart conversation about something that I've discovered. A truth so simple, yet so powerful. Once I realized this, it shifted my entire perception of my life, my relationships, my reality. Picture this. One night, not particularly different than any other night. I am, let's say, in a pattern with my significant other. And this pattern had been manifesting within both of us over and over for about 4 years. Now, from the 3D perspective, there were definitely many things that my partner was doing that was fact, data-based, provable, and all around unacceptable. Now, like you, I have been into working on myself and have sought out teachings, teachers, books, retreats, organizations, different faith organizations as well, learning how to be a better man, learning how to serve my partner, learning how to speak in a quote correct way as decided by all these organizations with all their dogma and all their rules, so that I could check off that list and be approved as a safe, loving, compassionate, supportive man in my relationships. And I would go through these relationship challenges and heartbreaks. And just like you, I would be under this idea that I was healing. And not only was I healing, I was actively taking a part in my healing journey as far as relationships and my heart goes. I did all the things. But just as I described all those things to you, imagine a starry night, a chilling night, with the stars clear, looking up into the vastness and the beauty and the horror of the abyss that is open space. Just like many of you can be in that moment, and you've experienced the same awe of realizing at some moment in your life that every thought, every belief, every action, every reaction in your life led up to this moment right now. So imagine, if you will, on a night in a relationship filled with patterns on both sides, while deeply into the reactive response, hearing my partner say the same thing I've heard so many times from her and, to be honest, many other women before. And just like that moment I described, looking up at the stars and having that epiphany, in this moment, I was able to see myself clearly in this pattern with this person. And in an instant, I realized every action, every thought, every assumption, everything I did was creating this very moment, this moment in my reality that I was believing in more than my truth. And in that moment, I woke up. I was awake. And from that moment on, I was able to step back from that relationship, seeing the whole big picture. And then I realized I didn't need to do this anymore. I had nothing to prove. Why would I be trying to prove something of myself to my exact reflection? See, I also realized that every relationship I have, my sacred relationships, were exact reflections of my internal beliefs and inner speech, forgetting that the stars are still there because they are hidden by our own defenses. And we call that maturity. We call that being in the real world. What about you? Have you been there? Have you built walls? Have you told yourself stories and lies to become hypervigilant and somehow protect yourself because you got hurt once, twice, or 10 times? Have you been there, trapped in the illusion and the limitation of 3D thinking? That was my moment. And to be honest, there have been many other moments that I chose to ignore and forget because I convinced myself it'd be too hard to integrate that knowing into my daily life. What if my partner disagreed with me? I too have told myself all the stories that I can't live a spiritual existence in my human form. But there are moments, instead of becoming hypervigilant, instead of labeling, even though the label was so clear from the 3D perspective, I chose to open up. I allowed myself to be even more vulnerable, and in that vulnerability, I found strength. And then I was able to guide myself out of the shadows. Because in our journey, we're not encouraged to actually let go. And I had to learn the art of letting go. Now, what does this mean? This means I had to ease off the grip on my hardcore expectations, how I identified with what is or is not appropriate in a relationship. Because again, those all were ideas that were given to me by friends and family, leaders, that became my own distorted views because they came from somewhere else. And I would use them after I got hurt as a way to build myself back up. But these are all based on conditions outside of me and illusions, false truths. So I want you to understand that sometimes letting go is the fastest way to let it in. This isn't about losing sight of our dreams, but granting them the freedom and the permission to come to us in ways beyond our imagination ever thought of. This happens by letting go. Letting go is a dance with the universe, where we lead with confidence and trust and follow with faith. Now, how do you know whether you're on the path or not? We're going to go to one of my favorites, Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard once said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows." In our relationships, when we're in crisis or there's a challenge, we use our experiences from the 3D world to have assumptions. We play these stories and fantasies in our mind throughout the day, and then we act surprised, or we claim that we knew something was going on when we have a challenge in our relationships or in our world. It only takes a few times of experience to realize the truth that your thoughts in your mind and in your heart literally manifest and create your reality. And to deny this keeps us in a victim state. In other words, we will never manifest the life we desire without accepting that we have already manifested the life we are currently experiencing. Now, the reason we want to be aware of this, assuming the wish fulfilled, then watching the route of our thoughts, because they will go through a sequence of events, fantasizing, having conversations with one or multiple people based on our assumption, our feeling. Notice when you're in a bad spot around an experience with the person, your partner even. Notice that you have little mini fantasies playing tape of other occurrences, either with your partner or with other people, where you automatically are in a conflict situation. However, if you can assume the wish fulfilled from your happiness, with your desires fulfilled, with the reality you choose to have manifested. When you operate from the absolute assumption of fulfillment, your mind is filled with different stories and movies that play tape, but the conversations with your partner, the conversations and experiences for the rest of your day, you will be in a different position because you are being the wish fulfilled. This is how we manifest our dreams into our reality. No matter how far or distant they may appear to be, start assuming your wishes are fulfilled and persist in them. Make them natural and stop looking outside of yourself for them to show up. Once you have embodied that state and don't allow the contradictions to throw you off of your state, then it will manifest. It has to, it is law. So what can you do? Start small. Start each day with a simple belief. Today, something will happen that is wonderful, or today already is a wonderful day. Hold on to that feeling as you navigate through your day. Let that assumption guide your thoughts and actions. It is a small step, but it is a beginning of the journey of actually manifesting the life you've always denied yourself, leading you down a path of proving it to yourself over and over again that you are not a bystander in your life. You are the actual creator of it. And once you take on that responsibility, things change very quickly. I want to hear from you. In the comments, please share a moment or two from your life where you knew that you were the creator of your life and you felt the awe and empowerment that came with that realization. Let's support each other and share our stories and build up this community of creators. You are a creator, manifesting your reality, one thought, one assumption, one belief, and one action at a time. So what will you create today? Until next time, thank you for spending a moment with me. Cheers.